my opinion, top 5 publicly traded sports brands to watch in 2025. Got some interesting stuff going on here. Sports on the up and up. Advent of sports betting, bringing a lot of this around. And I deliberately did not include sports betting companies in this because I feel that could actually be its own segment entirely. So this is just, if betting did not exist,
sports related.
Yes, sports. Yeah, I was going to say not adjacent, very much sports companies. But anyway, let's jump in. Nike is what I'm opening up with here. Sort of obligatory to open this with Nike, I think. They are not going anywhere. They have been having a rough year, as many of our chatters are well aware. But I think that they're too big to fail. They have an extensive product line, a lot of global reach. They're pretty much impossible to ignore if you're going to talk about the sports space. As I said, increased competition, evolving consumer preferences have hurt them a little bit this year, but their sponsorships are firm. They have their athletes locked up. They continue to innovate and roll out new things. And they are still most definitely the Kleenex of the sports world, in that they are pretty much synonymous with sports as a whole. They have injected themselves into pop culture and things which extend beyond just the sports themselves. They have a culture surrounding them and lots of history. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, ultimately. And Nike had to be the first stock to make the list here. All right. Next, we have Lululemon Athletica, if you want to get formal. Ticker is Lulu. They originally specialized in yoga apparel and rapidly expanded into various athletic and footwear segments, and they have a market cap over $40 billion these days. They continue to grow every year as they reach new demographics, and that's really the main angle for Lululemon to me, is the new demographics. I was in elementary and middle school. Lululemon made leggings and overpriced headbands. Those were the two products, and holy cow, girls loved those overpriced.
It was nuts.
It was Lulu headbands are Nike Elite socks.
Yeah,
they are girl Nike Elite socks. That same time frame, they were overspending on Lulu headbands, and we wanted every pair of Nike Elites that you could get your hands on and pull them all the way up. Those were good times. But they have rapidly expanded into other products. While they've expanded on their yoga sector and managed to maintain their hold, I might add, on that initial demographic, they've also expanded into athletic wear of all sorts: shirts, socks, shoes, you name it.
Even more like dressy wear now too.
Yes, and they've gotten into the male demographic as a whole. This is a company that in the beginning was pretty much purely geared towards women. They've managed to expand into the male demographic a lot. I have a pair of Lulu shorts myself, as I know Chase does as well.
I have plenty. 3 or 4.
Men love their stuff now too, and there is only room for continued growth, in my opinion. So Lulu, second stock, making our list here.
This one's a little more worrisome to me because of some of the more aggressive takes their CEO has claimed. Kind of feels like any given moment we could see 5 to 8% drop in their price based off of a tweet. But I guess in the age of social media and everything like that, a lot of companies now, not just Lulu. Yeah, I'm a big Lulu fan. Like I said, I'm wearing their pants right now. I've got 2 more pairs of their pants, a couple pairs of shorts. Shirts. I wear a lot of Lulu.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. And yeah, we certainly do live in the age of social media. I don't disagree with your takes on their CEO, but I think the strength of the company is more than enough to get them over that hump and continue the trend of growth. Not to mention that they have so much room to expand in terms of physical locations should they choose to. They're very good about selecting their geographic areas for their physical locations, and there's lots of room for upward expansion there too. Okay, Dick's. They remain the largest sporting goods retailer in the United States. When you hear Dick's, you might think, oh, they're kind of falling out of style. Brick and mortar retailer that's going to fall by the wayside. It doesn't really seem like that's going to be the case. They still have over 700 stores. They still have a market cap just under $20 billion. And they've managed to expand into e-commerce pretty successfully. There's lots of people using their website and buying online from Dick's directly, not going to other companies like Amazon that could supplement, which is obviously good for Dick's. Their performance tends to reflect broader consumer spending trends, which are likely to improve in 2025. Inflation continues to come down lower. We're seeing mortgage demand climb as those rates come down. So people are going to start being a bit more liberal with spending their money. I would have just in a broader economic context, and Dick's operates in a broader economic context. So I think that'll mean good things for them as well. I can attest that I'm still a proponent of Dick's. I think it's fun be able to go there and shop in person. It's something that I enjoyed in my youth and I still enjoy now. They got lots of cool stuff. And I don't how old I get, throwing a football around in Dick's is fun. So that's where I'm at.
They also, I mean, they've done a really good job of expanding into all kinds of sports, not only the regular American ball sports, but they've got a lot of hunting stuff, which is a massive, kind of sporting venture.
Let's keep it going. Moving into a bit more niche of companies now. JD is the larger of the two, but felt it was necessary to mention JD here. They are currently only listed on the London Stock Exchange as JD, not to be confused with JD.com, which is listed on the New York Stock Exchange under ticker JD. They have earnings after close tomorrow, actually, funny enough, or before open tomorrow. But two different companies. JD.com, the American one, is like Alibaba. It is a wholesale trinket website, for lack of better vernacular. JD Sports and Fashion is what we're talking about here, and they are large. It's a multinational sports and fashion company. They've aggressively expanded their global footprint, and their U.S. growth has been increasingly rapid. They're starting to be in-person stores popping up in the United States and Canada, and they just bought U.S.-based Hibbett Sports for $1 billion to boost their expansion, which shows that they're very serious about continuing to get this foothold in the United States. And yeah, I'm high on JD. It feels like they're in a spot to continue to grow. Anytime you're a foreign company that has had a lot of success in your own market, and then you have the entire United States to expand into, and you're able to do that successfully, and we have some proof of concept here, that means there's a lot of room for upward expansion for you. So wanted to include JD here. JD, like Nike, they are not manufacturing their own stuff. They are like a Foot Locker or a Dick's. They sell other brands' things under their umbrella, and they've come to have a slightly higher tier reputation than, say, a Dick's or an Academy or something like that, because they also sell higher fashion stuff. If you need a pair of baseball cleats, you're not going to JD Sports. They sell more designer stuff. They sell your Dunks, sell your Jordans. They have some designer fashion apparel as well. In China's sneaker reselling days, we certainly became very familiar with JD. They are in on all of the exclusive sneaker releases. When you have to be there clicking because they're going to sell out in 5 seconds. JD has firm stranglehold on that as well. So they have connections with the vendors. They have the entire U.S. to expand into. There's room in the market for another company of this type, in my opinion. And yeah, I think JD is going to be able to do it. And this U.S. expansion for JD ain't nothing new. It's just speeding up a lot right now. But I mean, I know for a fact that we have had a JD Sports location in Galleria in Houston for at least 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, so a lot of room for JD. Had to include them. And then we move into our most niche company, TKO Holdings. This one, not many people are really set as a major player in the sports space, but it's one that I like. They were founded in September 2023 after the UFC and WWE merged together into one group. At the time, I believe it was joint ownership by Vince McMahon and Dana White, but I think Dana White and The Rock split ownership of this company now since McMahon had his scandal. Relatively new entity. They've still managed to put together a $9 billion market cap in just the slightly over a year that they've existed so far. And this is two sports that I just think have some room. The UFC more than the WWE, but the UFC grows all the time. They continue to have more extravagant events, more foreign events. They're expanding into Europe, and there's a lot of enthusiasm for Europe, or in Europe, I should say. And something that I really like about the UFC is that they have serious potential to become a massive worldwide sport as more people become interested. These fighters come from all corners of the world. I mean, seriously, pick any country, and I mean, there's somebody fighting the UFC from it. And people like to support the people from their own country. And fighting, like soccer, is a sport that does not require a lot of equipment to get into. Anybody can do it. And I think that to that end, there's a lot of room for expansion as well, because like Dagestan, which is a region in Russia, is one of the main producers of UFC fighters, and it's because fighting don't take a whole lot. They're all doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from the time they can walk, and you don't need anything to do it, just your body. So I think there's a lot of room for expansion with the UFC. The WWE continues relevant. I don't know about expansion for them, but I don't think they're going anywhere. They continue to do a good job of signing, new celebrities and having ways to keep people interested. Randomly, LaMelo Ball does a UFC fight, or they got Logan Paul now pulling that audience. So I don't think the WWE is going anywhere. I think the UFC has a lot of room to move up. So this is the final company I wanted to include here. Chase and I love our sports, and this was just a fun little thing I wanted to touch on. A lot of good sports conglomerates happen in the world. So thanks everybody for humoring me here.